Barcelona destroyed Mallorca tactically, but there is something concerning, coach. When a game plan collapses, the match collapses with it. And that is exactly what happened today on the pitch. Barcelona emerged victorious with a 3-0 scoreline and maintained control throughout the game, particularly during defensive transitions. Honestly, I observed some excellent movements from Lamine Yamal and Fran Torres, yet the weakness in depth was occasionally evident. In this video, we will delve into how and why Barcelona was able to impose its dominance in this manner. Let us analyze the weaknesses in Barcelona's system and how Hans Flick succeeded in transforming the lineup. Welcome to Cadro Sport. Hans Flick's lineup: goalkeeper Juan Garcia, defense Garcia replacing Koundé alongside Araujo, Cubarsí, and Alejandro Balde, midfield Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, and Fermín López, attacking trio Lamine Yamal, Fran Torres, and Rafinha. We can say that the lineup Hans Flick started with today is very similar to the lineup and tactical setups used last season, reflecting the same underlying ideas. Today, we did not witness radical changes in the style of play, at least in the first half, while more noticeable adjustments appeared in the second half. Nonetheless, there are certain aspects that deserve attention, which became evident in the first half and were not commonly seen last season. In other words, Hans Flick did not implement a drastic transformation, but at the very least, he made some modifications that had a direct impact on the pitch. For Barcelona, last season's ideas were mirrored in the first goal situation, where Rafinha operated on the left flank while Fran Torres occupied the false number, 9th position. You will notice that Hans Flick's approach here focuses on shifting play to the right to empty the left side, essentially overloading Lamine Yamal's flank while distributing defensive density between the right side and central spaces. Fermín López moved into the area occupied by Frenkie de Jong and right back Eric Garcia, followed by Pedri advancing forward in a roaming role without a specific ball request or necessity. If we go back to watching the video, we notice that Pedri moves left and right without a clear reason, not to receive the ball nor to request it, but his main purpose is to occupy an opponent and prevent them from supporting the attack. As a result, Mallorca's numerical density increases on the right side. Fran Torres is positioned in this area, but when Lamine Yamal faces a one-on-one situation due to the numerical overload on the right, dribbling becomes difficult. At this moment, Fran Torres makes a quick run from outside the penalty area. This is the typical role of the false number, 9, as the opposing defender attempts to follow Fran Torres, shaping the defensive structure in this way. Similarly, once Fran Torres enters the penalty area, the defender shifts and Rafinha moves to the far post. Lamine Yamal's usual method is to dribble horizontally and deliver a diagonal pass to the far post, where Rafinha makes the decisive finish and scores the first goal. The same principles apply, freeing the left wing, the team's second forward, by drawing the defender out of the penalty area and inserting a midfielder to occupy one of the defenders. Suddenly, a rapid run is made by the false number, 9, into the box, leaving Rafinha either in a one-on-one situation or even unmarked. The critical element here is timing. Fran Torres' run must coincide precisely with Lamine Yamal's delivery into the penalty area. This is the first goal. Now let's move to the second goal. The team's shape was slightly different as Lamine Yamal positioned himself deeper. He broke through the opponent's defense and took a shot which rebounded off the defender's head and returned to Lamine Yamal, who was positioned outside the penalty area. Once again, Fran Torres receives the ball and begins driving it inward. He passes the ball, but it is intercepted. The ball then returns to him, and under pressure, he shoots toward the far post and scores the goal. Although the two goals came through different sequences, Fran Torres in both instances demonstrated the effectiveness and quality of the false number 9 role, regardless of our assessment of what he missed inside the penalty area. What matters most is that both goals originated from positions where Fran Torres was strategically placed, allowing either Lamine Yamal to act as the primary attacker or, in the first goal, Rafinha to assume that role. In this context, Fran Torres becomes a key component of Hans Flick's tactical vision, a crucial pillar in the absence of Lewandowski. Barcelona's third goal came through the usual pattern, but what stands out today regarding Lamine Yamal is that he confirmed to me the idea that his style of play is evolving noticeably. Lamine Yamal is increasingly directing himself toward direct play and making deeper runs into the penalty area, as I had anticipated. and these new developments will have a significant impact on the way the game is decided. In this particular sequence, Lamine Yamal faced 3 defenders and used quick body feints and horizontal dribbles once, twice, 3 times to create a shooting angle and enter the penalty area despite the numerical overload. He struck powerfully toward the far corner. The high ball entered the goal with precision in a very beautiful play, confirming that Lamine Yamal will develop noticeably in finishing opportunities inside the box. Although he missed several chances today, he remained the primary source of danger. Here lies my concern with Barcelona. Not having another significant source of threat besides Lamine Yamal. If Yamal cannot break down the opponent's defensive blocks, it highlights the occasional need to involve a player like Rashford as a winger rather than as a primary striker. Today, Rashford participated only within the system and for a limited number of minutes. I also observed that Barcelona players did not attempt enough to integrate Rashford into the system. However, often you will need Rashford to operate as a left winger, relying on his dribbling to dismantle defensive structures from the left side. This would allow Lamine Yamal to move deeper into the center and enter the penalty area without the ball. Consequently, Yamal's contributions would increase while reducing his burden in dribbling and breaking defenses, distributing responsibilities more evenly among other players. Coach, I mention this because without adjustments, Barcelona created around 31 or 32 organized attacks during the match, with approximately 20 of them coming from Yamal's side. That means over 2/3 of the attacks originated from the right flank, whereas the team needed support from a left winger who could act as a spearhead. My issue is that Barcelona maintains the same tactical ideas, while sometimes adjustments and changes are necessary to provide new solutions and additional complex plays. Reliance solely on Lamine Yamal is unsustainable as he is prone to fatigue. I needed to see Rashford on the left side to give Rafinha a rest and to experiment with new attacking shapes, such as Rafinha moving as a striker, keeping Fran Torres in his position, or slightly altering the team's formation. Looking at Rashford's role in the match, it was purely tactical. Although he did not stand out as a hero, neither scoring nor assisting, he fulfilled a clear tactical function. In summary, Coach, Barcelona achieved a full score, 3-0, a clean sheet, no injuries, and opened the season with an away victory. Everything is fine so far. Of course, it does not end here, as implementing the new game system and playing style requires additional time under Hansi Flick's guidance. I believe that from now until next month, we will see Barcelona reach the level Hansi Flick aspires to achieve. Thank you for watching, Coach.